let's talk about Ontario immigration in 2025. What a year, right? It was a real roller coaster with major cuts, some pretty surprising program changes, and a laser focus on very specific jobs and regions. So, today, we're going to break down everything that happened with the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, OINP. The biggest headline of the year, without a doubt, was this: a shocking cut to Ontario's nomination spots. I mean, it sent waves of uncertainty through applicants absolutely everywhere. Okay, so let's dive right into it. We're going to kick things off by looking at the hard numbers because, honestly, they really tell the story of 2025. What you're seeing here is the single biggest story of the year. In 2024, the OINP was working with a target of 21,500 nominations. But in 2025, that number was slashed to just 10,750, exactly half. That wasn't some slow, gradual decrease. It was a sudden, dramatic chop. So, what on earth happened? And, well, here's your answer. On May 30th, the OINP put out a statement confirming that the federal government had cut their allocation in half. This one announcement completely reshaped the entire landscape for 2025, making everything so much more competitive. I mean, with only half the spots up for grabs, every single invitation suddenly became twice as valuable. Now, to really understand the impact of that cut, we need to get crystal clear on two key terms that people often mix up: an invitation to apply and a nomination. Trust me, they're not the same thing. And the difference is absolutely crucial. First up, the invitation to apply, or ITA. The best way to think of this is like getting an invitation for a job interview. The province has looked at your initial profile. They like what they see, and they're officially inviting you to submit a full, detailed application. But, and this is the most important part, you haven't gotten the job yet. The nomination, on the other hand, that is the job. That is the prize. It's the official certificate from Ontario that says, "We want you." This is the golden ticket that lets you go to the federal government and apply for permanent residence. This is what it's all about. So let's put it all together. The journey starts when you submit your expression of interest. Basically, you raise your hand and say you're interested. If you're selected from the pool, you get an ITA. You then submit your full, detailed application, and if it's successful, you then get the nomination. You know, it's really important to remember that throughout 2025, Ontario still issued thousands of ITAs to keep the pipeline full. But because of those federal cuts, a maximum of only 10,750 of those people could ever get a final nomination. But of course, note that OINP is still processing applications from 2024, so those who got the nomination are from both 2025 and 2024. So beyond just the numbers, 2025 also brought two massive system changes that completely altered the landscape for applicants, especially for anyone in those employer job offer streams. Here's the year at a glance. Two dates really stand out. On July 2nd, the whole game changed for employers and their potential hires with a new portal. And then, on November 14th, a super popular pathway for tradespeople just abruptly shut down. Okay, first, that new employer portal. This was a huge shift. Before July 2nd, the applicant would start the process. But after that date, the entire process became employer-led. Your employer had to go in, create a profile, and submit the job details first before you could even get in the game. This caused a major reset. All the existing applications were withdrawn, forcing everyone to start all over again. But here's the upside. This new system was way faster. While some of the older applications are still being processed, new ones submitted through this portal were often finalized in just 1 to 4 months. Then came the November bombshell. The OINP suspended its very popular express entry skilled trade stream. And the reason they gave was pretty serious: systemic misrepresentation or fraud. They felt the program's integrity was at risk, so they didn't just pause it. It returned all outstanding applications and refunded the fees, which you can imagine left a lot of skilled trade workers scrambling to figure out a new plan. So, with half the nomination spots available and a system that was constantly changing, who did Ontario actually target? Well, the draw patterns from 2025 paint a very, very clear picture of the province's priorities. Priority number 1 was by far healthcare. Time and time again, we saw these huge targeted draws just for people in critical health occupations. Thousands and thousands of invitations were sent to candidates who were nurses, physicians, and personal support workers. And, importantly, early childhood educators and assistants, ECEs, were frequently pulled into these priority draws, which just goes to show how crucial they are considered to be. The second big priority was to get people looking beyond Toronto. The OINP made a real concerted effort to drive immigration to other parts of the province. They held these specific draws for candidates who had job offers in places like North Ontario, Eastern Ontario, Southwestern Ontario, and parts of Central Ontario. The signal was loud and clear. If you have a job offer outside of the Greater Toronto Area, you are in demand. So, after a complete whirlwind of a year with cuts, system resets, and intense targeting, what does this all mean as we start heading into 2026? What's the big takeaway from 2025? I think it's this. The OINP has become a much sharper, more precise tool. It's no longer just about having a high score. It's about how having the exact skills for a job in the exact location that Ontario needs. Aligning with priorities like healthcare and regionalization isn't just a bonus anymore. It's pretty much essential. The big question heading into 2026 is, will this hyper-targeted approach continue, and how will you adapt your strategy to meet it? Hi, I'm Eve, a licensed immigration consultant, and I'll be with you throughout the rest of the year with updates, informative videos, and insights. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. If you need professional help with your application, please check out the links below. See you again next time.